movies are just failing. Even movies like a Bloodshot, that more than likely a lot of people wasn't going to go. It wasn't going to do crazy numbers. Let's just be honest. It wasn't going to do crazy numbers. But a movie like that probably would have made a little bit more than what it made its opening weekend had this not been happening, had people been going to the movies and checking out everything else. And it's really just due to just the coronavirus. It's like people aren't going to the movies. And so for a little while, AMC and Regal were basically kind of like following suit with each other to where they were going to knock down capacity. If it fits 500, it's going to be down to 250. And in a lot of cases, it was even shorter than that, to 50 people allowed within the theater. So after a certain while, certain tickets wouldn't be available for a certain showtime and stuff like that. So they were really trying to do precautionary measures when it came to that, while still allowing people to enjoy entertainment at the movie theaters. But even myself felt like it wasn't going to last too long, that they were going to eventually have to shut down. Because for one, you got to look at it. Certain movies a lot of movies are being pulled from their release date. This week was supposed to be A Quiet Place come out. Next week was supposed to be Mulan. I don't know what was supposed to be coming out the week after that, but I looked at it and there's nothing coming out within the next 3 weeks. And then more movies are starting to get pulled from, so you're more than likely going to be looking at 5, 6, 7 weeks, even more, of where nothing is coming out in theaters. And so after seeing the last movie I needed to see in theaters, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later, ended up finding out that yesterday AMC and Regal and even Cinemark all stated they're closing all of their U.S. Theaters temporarily, or just until further notice, until things start to look like it's getting better. And it was like, I knew it was going to happen. First of all, people aren't going to the movies because of the coronavirus. Then secondly, you're pulling your big movies out of the theater. Now, a lot of people don't really go to the movies like that anyway. They only go to the movies to see the movies that they want to see or that look interesting or whatever, which is not that many throughout the year. So when you're pulling major titles like The Quiet Place 2, Mulan, and all these other movies, it's like F9 and everything else. It's like, what new movies is there for us to go out to go see? And these next 2 weeks would have brought in a lot of money. And it's like, there's nothing to see in the movie theater. They're not trying to rush out to go see Onward or nothing like that. So it's like, what can we do? And since it's like they're not going to be generating too much money, why even keep the doors open? So they were going to eventually have to close it because there is nothing for people to go to the theaters for. And I just knew that. I just knew it. And Monday I made the decision to go to the show because Tuesday might be too late. So I just went, and I was like, when I found out, I'm like, yes, I'm glad I did go. I'm glad I did go. But even like I said, like, people experience don't even want to go to the theater because of the coronavirus. When I'm sitting in the theater, when I was sitting in the theater, like the last couple times, I'm sitting there kind of uncomfortable having that in my mind, even though a movie is supposed to be an escape. Like, that's just running through my mind, And it's crazy. And just on top of that, with all these theaters closing, so, I mean, some of them are still active. I think one of the theaters that's near me is New Vision. I believe that they're still open because I looked up, and the Adam and Fandango isn't saying, having their like purchasing of the tickets like deactivated or anything else. So certain theaters are still open, but soon, probably today, tomorrow, by the end of this weekend, going to end up starting to follow suit. You probably might have like some of the smaller chains still stay open. Maybe New Vision Cinemas is probably still going to stay open, maybe a little bit longer, but after a while they're going to have to close the doors. There's nothing you're probably going to get 10 people throughout the day come in to see movies. So, it's not going to be a pretty sight.